Hi, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. It's like a minute to the hour, and YouTube does this latency. So I think it should be just about on the hour when you're seeing this. So welcome to day 2 of Meditations and Reflections Absorbed in Love. And here's Mike, who he knows the exact time. He loves this too, don't you, Mike? Here's Mike. And he has to be a part of this. He loves this energy. He gets all this loving. So in the reflection today, Singing had an interesting experience where I've been on a text thread with high school friends. There was a group of 8 of us girlfriends, and we reconnected a few years ago, and we text, and it's so nice to have this connection. However, some of them get into name calling of politicians. And I finally, after a couple years of this, I finally just removed myself from the thread. I just had enough. And I could accept that that's the way they like to behave. I wouldn't even mention this, though, if I thought any of them were listening, because I wouldn't want to do that. But they aren't. So I can tell you, the reflection about it, the thing I've been thinking about is I've been taught through University of Santa Monica, where I went to school, whatever is, oh my gosh, I've got somebody here. Wouldn't you know? They know that I'm busy at 9, but here they are. Whatever bothers me from outside myself, there is probably a place inside myself that I am judging, I'm not accepting. I'm going to close this curtain here. Hold on. Oh, wouldn't you know? So I might have to stop because we'll just have to see. I'll close another door. Sorry but we're just going to keep going. So anything that is on the outside that bothers me, there's probably something on the inside that bothers me. So I've been looking at that. And so I was looking at, is there any place inside of me? Everything's a mirror, right? This is all the world's a stage, Shakespeare said. Everything is a reflection of what goes on inside of us. And this is a way to work with yourself, to learn and grow and get better and better as a human being, by looking at everything on the outside as a reflection on the inside. As you play with that, you'll see more and more how that works. So if they bother me because they're name calling, am I calling anybody by name? Am I calling myself any kind of a name? That's a game of superior. People make themselves, this is basic psychology, people make themselves, some people, feel better by being superior to somebody else, right? If I'm better than you, I can feel superior. Basically, that masks an insecurity. Whether you're, I don't know why this came to mind, a sport hunter, and I mean that not in the hunters that are out there making food, but those that do it to dominate others. There's usually an insecurity, or the same thing with the people that are hurting other people right now in our country with the riots that are going on, making themselves superior to another race, whatever it is. It's usually masking something inside where they feel inferior. Then the outside caricature persona. This is simple, right? We all know this. But when it gets subtle inside yourself, that's the thing to look at. Are you doing that anywhere, anytime? And maybe you're not. But all this takes us out of the spirit of loving, of course, which is what these meditations and reflections for the next 32 days are really about. When we're in that blossoming of loving, there's no superior or inferior, even with ourselves. Even with ourselves, we don't look at, maybe there's some things that we want to make better. In other words, we never apologize for ourselves. When you're really in that spirit of loving, you just accept all things inside yourself as well. I had this interesting experience. I was down in Texas having chemo. I was getting treatment down there for cancer. And there were some amazing human beings there that I knew of all shapes and sizes, that not just doctors and nurses, but everybody. And I went, wow, there's some really high consciousness people here. One day I was in this room. The door was open, but the curtain was closed. It was the chemo room. And a friend of mine was with me, and she left, and I told her to go the wrong way, to go find the restroom. And I yelled at her down the hall, oh, sorry, it's the other way. And I see this hand under the curtain grab my garbage bin. She was the maintenance garbage person. And she said in this very thick accent, don't say you're sorry. It came from I'm getting goosebumps. It came from such a deep place that I realized in that moment, anytime I said sorry, I was diminishing. It was coming from a judgment, a self-judgment, and I was diminishing my own self-worth. Let that sink in for a while. It might not seem like it. It might seem like apologizing is just the normal thing you do. But is it? Or is it coming from a place of self-deprecation to the point of devaluing yourself? Because really, did you do anything on purpose to hurt somebody? Then why are you sorry? Some of it's politeness, but maybe not. So let's go into meditation with those themes in mind for today's Absorbed in Love meditation. Take a deep breath in and let it out. And in and hold it and let it out. And as you breathe in, bring it right from the base of your spine. Bring that air in, and the life force in the air, sometimes called the prana, that's radiant energy that gives life to everything. And open yourself up to that energy that gives life to everything. And feel your heart, and that depth of your spiritual heart. That place inside of you that is sacred, truly sacred, that is connected to the deepest, most profound loving. And in that place of stillness that you find in the sacred heart inside of you, feel that connect to the bigger heart of God and the sacredness of that heart of God. Breathe into it and let it breathe you. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in that sanctity of loving. Let it go right into your very cells, Be aware of the divinity, that loving that is within you, and the greater loving from which we were all created. And you can invite that sacred heart to come even more present in your awareness. And you can invite your own awareness to open up and be stronger and fuller and brighter, to see beyond your thoughts and emotions into reality, into the truth of who we all are, of who you are. And let's just look at any place inside you that you are holding as inferior, that maybe you're not loving as much as you could, that maybe you're feeling a place of unworthiness. That maybe you have a label for, or maybe you have something inside that says, well, I'm not strong enough, I'm not smart enough, I don't have enough money, and you make that part smaller than your sacred heart. And if there is that part of you that you're labeling as less than what you truly are, let's let the light of loving right from God's heart give you the words of truth that tell you who you truly are. Who are you? How does God see you? How does God know you? What is your name to God? Perhaps it's like, my beloved, my beauty, my daughter of light, my precious co-creator, my brilliant, talented creation. How does God call you in this moment? And just listen. Let that love of the Creator even deepen. Feel it even more strongly through every part, through every part, through every part of your beingness. And as you are filled with this love, notice how it overflows and brightens the atmosphere around you. That even the room you're in begins to glow with golden light. And it extends past your room into your neighborhood, into your city, into all the places in your city that may be in disturbance. It brings peace into the disturbance. This peace from God's heart through you out into your city, your town, your country. Feel that light of God's loving that pours through you and reaches out into the world, encircle the world itself, our earth itself, soothing the disturbed, bringing peace to those places that need it, bringing comfort and wisdom to our leaders. Bringing rest to the weary, bringing nourishment to the depleted, bringing grace to all of humanity. And we see this world as growing, evolving to a place where all people are honored, respected, and treated with loving. That the very nature of this planet is becoming more loving. And at this time, all that is not loving is coming to the surface to be healed, released, and cleared. And this is a time of regeneration, of purging what is no longer needed, of wiping it away. And we just see this loving going into the places where the negativity was. And we're grateful for our part in being able to hold this light, anchor this light for God's loving at this time and in this meditation and in this moment. We bring our awareness back to our bodies and ourselves, back to our hearts. We feel that strength of the loving heart, the sacred heart. And follow your breath, and you can stretch. And as you enter your day or whatever time it is, just keep this presence of loving growing and deepening. And we'll see you next time. Namaste.